City News is brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.
Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Peppers on the Point head chef Craig Martin is in the running for a Silver Fern Farms Award. The Waiariki Charity House auction is on Sunday, and the New Zealand Māori Golf Association is hosting a charity tournament to raise funds for St Faith's Church restoration. But first, Lakes DHB has released the first quarter health target results, saying they show some achievement and continuing challenges. Lakes DHB Chief Executive Ron Dunham says the shorter stays in ED target is down 2%, which is disappointing. However, he says improvement in immunisation levels is pleasing, as well as the strong growth in access to elective surgery. The results are for the period July to late September, which Mr Dunham says was a very busy time for the hospital. However, he says staff will continue to work towards meeting the targets and making steady improvement that can be maintained. Peppers on the Point head chef Craig Martin is in competition with 74 others from around New Zealand, taking part in the Premier Master of Fine Food section of the inaugural Silver Fern Farms Awards. Mr Martin says he's created a dish using the finest Silver Fern Farms produce and has added it to the menu. He says over the next few weeks an anonymous judge will dine at Peppers and taste his dish.
I'm going to be doing a lamb rack and rump that I sous vide, which is done in a water bath technique, and then I'm serving it with a pea puree, artichoke and feta, then just a slice of olive powder and a few garnishes just to sort of flavours the spring.
Now, when you make this dish, you actually don't know when the judge comes in, because like Simon said, it's going to be a bit of a mystery shopper, so you won't actually know when they've been in.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just being consistent. You know, we try and do the same dish every day, so we just make sure that it's looking the same all the time, and yeah, it's just consistent and hopefully it pays off.
Now, where did this idea come about, and how did Silver Fern Farms get involved in these awards?
Oh, basically it's a sort of a thing that we've created. We've introduced the Soler Merino brand, origin brand, and also with our new beef grading system, Beef EQ it's called. It's about quality eating of red meat basically. So we wanted to get it out there, we want to get the brand out there. We're all about what the consumers want and bringing it back to our farmers so they can produce a quality product 12 months of the year that consumers nationally, internationally will enjoy the eating experience basically.
The Waiariki Charity House goes up for auction this weekend. The Charity House project is a collaborative community and education project where industry and suppliers have provided goods and services, while the students of Waiariki Institute of Technology have built the house. Professionals McDowell Real Estate will be conducting the auction from 1 p.m. at the build site at Rotorua Placemakers on Tanai Road.
There's always a price range, and you'll never get that out of a real estate agent when a property's up for auction. We have got feedback. I'm not going to disclose that feedback. I can tell you right now the reserve hasn't been set, but by about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon the reserve will be set. Yep. But ultimately that is the decision of Waiariki and at what level they want to set that at, and I will be encouraging them to take an extremely realistic approach, because if they're too optimistic, the property may be sitting here on the Monday.
Proceeds from the sale will be distributed to charity via the Sunrise Rotary Club of Rotorua. In sport tonight, golfers young and old will tee up tomorrow to raise money for St Faith's Church in Ohinimutu. The New Zealand Māori Golf Association is hosting the charity tournament at the Lakeview Golf Course and Rotorua Golf Club. The fundraising is for restoration of St Faith's, which turns 100 next year. The year will also be extraordinary for the church, as it will be dedicated as a cathedral church, a first in New Zealand. New Zealand Māori Golf Association Executive Committee member and Rotorua golfer Tom Walters said there was a lot of support for the event and excitement among Māori golfers to pitch in and help with the restoration of an iconic Māori church. To your weather update now. Tonight, showers, some heavy, westerlies developing and an overnight low of 12. Tomorrow, Friday, morning showers then becoming fine with westerlies, a high of 21 and a low of 13. And the outlook for Saturday looks to be fine, northwest strengthening, a high of 20 and a low of 13. And the marine forecast for Lake Rotorua, changing westerly to 15 knots early in the morning and then dying away at night, with waves less than half a metre, and there'll be fair visibility in morning showers and then turning fine. Remember, for program listings or to upload images, check out our website tv.rotorua.co.nz, or you can look us up on Facebook. Still to come in tonight's program, we're at the New Zealand Academy of Sport to talk with founder Jim Love. Then we find out about the free parking project and talk with one of the mentors, former All Black Hika Reid.
Kia ora. Well, I'm at the New Zealand Sports Academy at Neil Hunt Park. Many of you will drive past this every day on your way out to Tangai, and there are some secrets here that we need to be sharing with everybody. I'm very happy to be with the founder and the co-director, Jim Love. Kia ora, Jim.
Kia ora.
Well, it's a privilege to be out here with you. The founder, why did you found it?
Oh, basically it was, I've got a lot out of rugby, and, all my life I've been sort of playing and coaching, travelled the world many times over, and just really want to give young Māori boys opportunity to, get the experience that I've had out of rugby.
Because it is an experience, isn't it? And I know with my involvement, these boys get to travel to some places that perhaps they might never go in their lives.
Oh, exactly. It's an important part of their development. Their life's a big journey, and if I can help them in that way, then that's what it's all about.
What do you think it is with Māori that draws them to sport?
It comes from their tupuna. If you look at rugby, where did the All Black name come from? Where did the jersey come from? Where did the hukas come from? It came from the native side way back in the 1800s. They travelled for 2 years around the world. And basically, it's never talked about much, but that's pretty historic.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, they travelled the world, they took 2 years out of their lives and went over through Europe and played through Australia. And basically, they were called the All Blacks then. And when they came back, they presented the jersey and the name to the New Zealand Rugby Union. And basically, that's how it was, how the All Blacks were fought.
Fantastic. See, that's something I didn't know. And now I'm very, very proud.
Yeah.
Ka pai. So tell me what happens out here.
New Zealand Sports Academy is a program designed just around Māori Polynesian, and basically, to be realistic, most of our kids have failed through the education system. What we do here is we use sport as a vehicle to educate, and that's important. And if you look at the statistics this year with our boys, we have basically 100% retention. Most all our boys that started finished last week, and of course when you look at it, 14 of our boys will return next year and do a diploma, which is outstanding, and the rest of the boys, the other 6, will go into what we call trade training. So for us, that's what we're all about. It's not about bums on seats with us, it's about giving kids an opportunity, a pathway to their future, and to really to be successful. I always say, kids have got to be able to live their life. They've got to stand up and be counted in this world, because it's a hard world to live in, and especially a lot of the kids that we've come through over the last 15 years. Yeah.
Tell me about how sport can be used as a vehicle to educate.
Well, our kids are more practical. They like to see things. Theory is not a great component that they enjoy. So what we do is we teach them the practical sense. Our program that we do here, the education program, is provided by Te Wānanga o Aotearoa, and we work very closely with them. And with that program, it's an applied course, and what it means by an applied is that most of the program is actually practical. So they do it in the gym and out in the field.
Excellent. Now, it's not just tāne, it's not just boys who you're going to be working with very shortly, isn't it? You've actually got a very famous woman coming along to add her richness to this place. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, Nolene's Taurua has been brought on board with us, and to us that's fantastic. She's a great lady, and she's been there, done that. So for us to produce a good netball program is important for us, and of course she will be a big part of that, and she'll be the director of netball. And in saying that, we will have another program in Wellington, and so that netball program will also run, and she'll also be basically in charge of that also. So she's got a good role, and we're really excited about working with her, and we've already had quite a few meetings with her, and the enthusiasm coming from her is fantastic, and that's what it's all about. You've got to have passion for this work. It's hard work, but in the end, if you have that passion, then it becomes very easy.
So tell me a little bit about what she's actually going to be doing.
Well, she'll be running all the skills program. Her intention here in the Bay is actually to play in the Tauranga netball competition, and I think that's important. If they all play as a team, then she can, work on their weaknesses and strengths, and basically create a better netballer. And I think if young girls want to come on board with us, then, just working with Nolene is going to be a huge experience for them. And more importantly, working with the program with the New Zealand Sports Academy is even going to be more beneficial.
So if anybody is interested, perhaps parents are watching, or see young people are watching, that would like the sound of the less theory and more getting out and doey, how can they get in touch with you?
They just need to go onto our website, www.nzsportsacademy.co.nz, and on there you'll see a lot about our academy, but more importantly registration forms actually online, or they can just contact us here at the New Zealand Sports Academy.
Well, kia ora, Jim, and ngā mihi nui ki a koe mō mahi. I want to just thank you for the work that you're doing with our young people, because it's not just those people that you affect, it's our whole community. So ngā mihi nui ki a koe.
Kia ora.
Well, we're at Park Road Skate Park here, and it's all go. There's a lot of activity here, but it's for a very, very good reason, and that is the free parking events that run from the 7th of November, of course, right through to the 19th of December, so plenty of time yet, and a lot of the activity proving that it's going to be pretty popular. With me is the organiser. We have Mariah Pamana, who's with us, and obviously a lot of work involved in getting this all underway. But why are you doing it?
Why am I doing it? Because I want to see all young people have access to sports. I want them to believe that they can make it the club teams and be up there and rep teams. That's why I do it.
Sure, and I think that one of the other things, I guess, that we were talking before we went to air, Mariah, was the fact that you want to foster leaders, the guys and girls that have got leadership qualities. That's already part of the aim, I think.
Absolutely. I'm in 4 different areas. So I'm in Fordlands on a Monday. Tuesday I'm Eastern Suburbs, Kotu I'm on a Wednesday, and here on a Thursday, Park Road, Western Heights. And in each area we try to pathway our young people into sports or into leadership or into other pathways that they choose. So we've got some young people over here and they're interested in music and sounds and all the how to set it up, and one of my leaders over here, he's volunteered himself for Buddy Holly, and now he's going to be the sound man next year, and he's only 13.
So it is a matter of tapping into talent, isn't it?
Absolutely, the talent. First of all, they've got to know who you are, and they've got to trust you, and then you've got to get to know them, and you've got to get to know their strengths and their interests, and just be there for them. Yeah.
How have you managed to create the interest and get the publicity? I know we've seen the flyers and they look really good, not to be confused with the free parking in the CBD or whatever, but it's a classic name, it's a great idea, but getting the message out is always the first battle, isn't it?
It has been a battle. That's not my strength, is promotions, but all I've been doing is turning up, hoping that word of mouth spreads. Over summer we had too many people, so I couldn't advertise. We couldn't actually keep up with the numbers. We had between 80 and 100, and it was just full on. We're here for like 4 hours, so we didn't advertise, but now we've got back to advertising, and I've got 1 more year left on the contract. And one of the main goals is to get our young people back into club sports. And so that's why we've got Hickory on board to try and really get someone who can push them in their skill level so they feel confident.
You beat me to it, because I was just going to mention this fine man. No, not at all. I'm glad you did. Hickory, well known throughout rugby circles, but also from the point of view of the mentoring side. It's guys like that have gone through the All Blacks and done all that stuff, the turning around and giving it back. Yes,
and I just know that the young people are going to flock to him, and I know that he's got so much to teach them, and it's really thanks to one of our new volunteers, Talal Al-Shamari. He's known Hickory for a long time, and he's really passionate about. He comes to the parks and he can't believe how much talent there is that's unfostered. So he's gone out of his way to make the links with the people who he believes can foster their talent and encourage them.
So you've really identified a need in the community, haven't
you? Absolutely. I just came from the New Zealand Recreation Conference, actually, and that's what it was all about. They call it the black hole, of where young people around about 12 years old drop out of sports and they don't know where they go.
And they've really slipped through the cracks.
They really slipped through the cracks, and Sport New Zealand fully believe that this is a mechanism for young people to be engaged, re-engaged in positive activity. So they've put in a lot of money across New Zealand.
Nationwide. We really appreciate what you're doing, and we're going to be talking to Sean Wirahika, who comes from a sporting family as well.
Yes.
I saw him kicking some goals before. He got a bit of talent there.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about his leadership stuff as well. So keep up the good work. We really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, as we mentioned, there's a lot of young guys and young girls here taking part in this free parking event, and will be right through to the 19th of December. So I wanted to talk to a young guy. As I said, I saw this Sean chappie here kicking some goals, and I felt a little bit jealous as a rugby referee, but he plays a bit of league, bit of talent there in the goal kicking. But let's look at this whole idea of the free parking thing. Sean, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a good thing to get out there and playing with the young fellas, bringing them up good, keeping them out of trouble. And it's good on the people for having the time to come out here and do it with us young fellas.
Sure. Now, one of the things that Mariah mentioned was the fact that a lot of the 12, 13-year-olds, unless they have things like this, tend to slip through the cracks and become a little bit lost as to what they want to do and where they want to go.
Yeah, well, there's a variety of sports out here, and it's good pathways to leading them through what they want to do in life. So, it's a good vibe for them to be out here, playing with us older fellas, teaching them what to do, what not to do.
So what age would you? You'd be 16?
Yeah, 16.
Now, for a 16-year-old like yourself, I really appreciate what you're doing in terms of your leadership qualities coming through. You enjoy that leadership aspect?
Yeah, it's good, because teaching the young fellas, hopefully they do the right thing and follow their footpaths and their dreams of what they want to pursue in life. Sure.
Now, there's a certain name that's been mentioned already, a fellow by the name of Hickory. You'll be looking forward to meeting this chap.
Yeah, he's a good legend of the game, the rugby game, which I love to play as well. So it'll be a good experience to meeting him and seeing what he's got to say to us young fellas.
Yeah, even as you say, as we've said, with your leadership qualities, there's a lot you can learn as a leader and a mentor to put it backwards as well.
Yeah, well, it's good because you learn both ways, what he's done, what he's been through, and maybe he done this as well and where he is now.
It's good to get these guys that have been right through the whole All Black culture and everything, and then turn it around and give it back into the game. I think we don't see enough of that, do we, really?
Well, it's good for him coming us and talking to us young fellas, having the time to do that, and it means a lot to us young fellas too, especially a legend of that game.
Absolutely. Hey, well, look, we'll let you go. There's a lot of activity that you need to get involved in. Keep all these young fellas and young girls in order. That's the story. And we appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Thanks, bro. Well, it's been worth waiting for because Hika Reid has finally joined us now, and he's very, I guess, champing at the bit to work with these young guys. He's just come back. I was a bit jealous, really, because he's just come back from watching the ABs thrash the England team at Twickenham. Good game, wasn't it? Eh?
Yeah, it was a great game. And I'm so pleased that we won.
Absolutely.
I couldn't take all that criticism from the English.
Too stressful, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, hey, it's great to have you here, Hika, with your mentoring skills. Obviously, someone like yourself who's been through the whole All Black culture and so on, and been in the game a long time. For someone like yourself to come and give some of it back, these guys will be looking up to you. That means a fair bit to you too, I guess.
Yeah, I always remember when I was at school and Fergie McCormick.
Yes.
Fergie McCormick came to our school and he noticed me amongst all the rugby players, and that first gave me the confidence to want to be a better rugby player. And I just hope I can influence maybe one of these kids here, and they could go on to represent New Zealand. If anything, give them self-esteem and confidence.
So it's one of the things that sports, including rugby, does, is that you get among that team dynamic, and there's leadership qualities there that don't always get recognised or fostered, so something like this could bring them out.
That's right, and if I can help, then I'm here.
And what are you going to be doing? I think you're going to be taking them through some skills.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just see what their skill factor is, and look on improving. Awareness, and all these little things, and
they'll have questions for you too.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's participation. Get them there and make them enjoy it, or not make them enjoy it, let them enjoy it. Yeah. And if they enjoy it, then they'll come back again. And then you just add little things, to just make them feel good
about themselves.
Yeah, feel good about themselves.
And one of the other aspects of being involved is the team dynamic, certainly, but it's not all about winning, even on a sports field today. To a large degree it is, but it's more, for this level anyway, it's more about participation and saying, I want to be part of it.
Yeah, and if these kids show certain attributes, then you encourage them to go further. And give them their confidence that they can go into a rugby team or basketball team. I see they're playing volleyball here.
A bit of everything.
Touch rugby is huge now.
Yeah.
Sevens. So there's all these opportunities out there, and if I can make them realise their potential, then it's
at a young age
good.
too.
Yeah, at a young age. Yeah.
Sure. Hey, I know they're waiting to. We won't take any more of your time. They've been waiting to see you and work with you. So thanks for your time, and we really appreciate what you're doing.
It's great. It's great that you're here and exposing these kids to first of all to the media.
Yeah.
It'll be great for them. They see the TV all the time,
yeah.
And I always remember when I was a kid. And I had my first TV interview, and I was so nervous, But
you haven't lost your touch. So.
No,
thanks, Hika. Cheers.
Kia ora. Thank you very much.
And better luck next time, Wayne. The free parking events are on at local skate parks up until Christmas. And in the lead up to Christmas from next week, we'll be featuring our viewers' Christmas photos. So email yours to news@tvrotorua.co.nz, or if you'd like to contact the station, phone us on 07 34 88 984. Thanks for joining us tonight. Ko Maria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
City News was brought to you by East Brewster Lawyers Rotorua, celebrating 100 years of legal excellence and innovation.